to the 6 degrees of connection, full broadcast on ALLATRA TV. Each day we travel to a new country to know something new about a new culture and new people, and to know something about people from different parts of the world. And of course, the main question that we ask, in which society you would like to live in. So people from all over the world tell us how their vision of the creative society. And in order to realize our aims, to speak to every person on Earth, we use modern technologies and also the theory of 6 handshakes. Well, it means that each person on Earth is connected to each other through 5 or even less handshakes. So, I will tell you secretly that thanks to our daily broadcast, this theory works even better than we thought before. We are connected even through less people. And today I can say that we are connected not through 5 handshakes, but through 1. So that's why, dear viewers, if you want to take part and to be part of our experiment, to present to us your country in a broadcast and connect to our team, send emails to our email allatra.tv, and please share this video with 2 hashtags, Creative Society and hashtag ALLATRAUnites. This will help to share this idea, and each person on Earth can be in a live broadcast and tell us about his own culture, his own vision of a creative society. It is very interesting traveling, and we invite you to take part in it. Today we'll go to the country which is called Azerbaijan, and we will speak about culture, and we will see very warm and good people. So welcome. Let's fly. So this is a long path between USA and Baku, and I want to present to you our today guests. Hello, girls. Let me tell you like that. Hello. Hello, Dilbar. Hello, Sevinch. Hello. Hello, Rahila. And hello, Nargis. I'm very happy to see all of you. And dear viewers, by our tradition, don't forget to go to the description of the video if you watch our on YouTube. And if you watch our on Facebook, go to the first comment on this video and tell us, what do you know about this country? With which associates this country for you? Yeah, and please tell us the answer for this question. So let's start. First of all, tell about your scarves or headscarves.
Could you please tell us what their names are and what their meaning is? So these headscarves in the Azerbaijani tradition are very popular, and they are called kelagai. So they look like this. And this is thin silk headscarves. It has this kind of ornament. It is a very complex process to produce them. And they are produced in Azerbaijan, in Chiki, in Tabriz, and they have been produced even today. So their production has been continued. So they're becoming more and more popular, and even young people wear them with pleasure. I would like to focus on the fact that they play a big role in family traditions, for example. And one of such traditions is when if a woman would throw this headscarf between 2 people fighting, the fight would stop. when this headscarf would be thrown. Besides, their role is quite basically in all traditions is very important. It can be wedding traditions, or it can be, for example, um, at a wedding or at funeral. If in case of a funeral, then you wear a dark headscarf. Their role is quite great. In other words, we have them as a tradition and as a symbol, all of that at the same time. They symbolize our tradition.
Понятно.
I
Вообще,
see.
продолжая разговор,
And
вот
to continue the
как
conversation
действительно
about the culture and
народный опыт.
traditions, so we
Скажите,
have this
пожалуйста,
traditional question. Could you
что
please tell us,
больше всего
what do you
в культуре
love most about traditions, culture, traditions, or
вашего
maybe
мира?
history,
Что бы вы хотели,
architecture
чтобы
of your motherland?
со всего мира,
What would you
которые
like the
сейчас
people
смотрят,
from all over the world who are watching us right now? What would
ассоциировались
you
с
like
Азербайджаном?
them to associate Azerbaijan with?
Дильбара, может быть, ты поделишься
Tilbara, could maybe you please share some of your thoughts? Of course. What I would like to say is that we are a very friendly people and our country loves guests. And when guests come, we welcome our guests very warm heartedly. We prepare ourselves for that. Our people are very kind, warm hearted, and I'm very proud of that. And I really like that about our people, that we are a hospitable and generous nation. Actually, I would like to tell you so much about that. It's just that I don't know if all of us will have time to speak about that. But our country is, on the one hand, traditional country, and for young people, it can be less pleasant. But as you grow older, you understand how our traditions connect us to our ancestors and to all the good things that they wanted to share with us. We understand that. And actually, this is very important. One of the main traditions is, of course, hospitality. And what has been previously said is actually really good. So these are the first responses of the people who come to Azerbaijan. This is what they share with us. For us, it is actually quite very normal and usual, and people are brought up this way, and we see it as a very natural thing. So this is what I wanted to say. And in any part of the country, the capital, or even a small, tiny village, if someone visits Azerbaijan, people would find a place and people would feel as themselves as a guest, and the host will treat the person with the last things that he has, like food, for example. And this is true, and this is how it is. And there are some ceremonies. People drink
красивые
tea,
коллажи.
people eat
Тогда
food together.
расскажите,
Oh, so
понравились ли
such
вам какие-то
nice
моменты? Мне
collages. So
было
there
очень
is the tea
интересно.
drinking party and some pomegranates and a million interesting things. Yes, Marina, of course. You can eat very well in Azerbaijan. Like the food is really delicious, and a lot of time and a lot of attention is given to food, to different kind of um, plates and cuisine. But it is worth it because it's very delicious, and people are happy to share their food with their guests. Tea is always offered, regardless of whether the guest has dropped by for just a minute or not. The guest must drink some tea if he wants to show the respect to the host. And it is very important for us to actually invite someone for tea when a guest comes. And sometimes when a person says no to tea, then it is perceived in a negative, slightly negative way, because the person thinks, hey, he did not want to drink tea with me, then something is wrong.
Ну,
Of
зато
course, this
понятно,
may not be the case always,
когда
but
приедем,
this is
будем
how it
знать,
is.
что
But now I know how it is, right? When we visit, we will know your
отношения
traditions and we will say yes to the tea. Yeah,
да.
of course. We do respect the guest, and of course, I've wanted to say so much to you, and probably every person wanted to share something with them. Maybe let's hear some other girls, what they have to say. Let's maybe focus on some of the most beautiful places that you have. Yes, there are actually so many beautiful places, and girls love them, and we often like to remind ourselves who has visited what place, who likes what places in our country. So, girls, let's do it. Okay? Yes, I would like to say a few words about our city. Baku is a very beautiful and a very warm city. It has its original architecture that has both the Western and the Eastern styles. At the very center of the city, we have a monument to an ancient architecture of Baku. This is our old city, Icheri Shehir. And once this city accommodated the entire population of the capital. So this city is surrounded by walls, and when you stroll along these narrow streets, you actually imagine how people used to live here hundreds of years ago. But when you go outside this part of the city, you find yourself in a modern city. And our Baku is changing with every year. Every year we have new buildings being commissioned, examples of modern architecture. And for a long time, the symbol of Baku was considered to be the woman's tower or the girl's tower. And now, this land towers, flame towers, serves as the symbol of the capital. These flame towers light up very beautifully during the night, and they symbolize a flame. They manifest sort of a flame, and I believe that this is the symbol of the warmth of the soul of our people of Azerbaijan. Yes, and actually people believe that Azerbaijan is a country of fire, of the inner fire, actually, of the fire of warmth, inner warmth. So these towers consist of three skyscrapers, and each skyscraper is the tongue of the flame, and we see it. It's actually in the top left corner. You see this picture of these flame towers in the top left corner in the screen right now. And also we have some other architecture structures illuminated. So our Baku looks really beautifully in the evening, and yeah, the architecture is impressive. What other interesting things do you have in Baku? So, Primorsky Boulevard, or Boulevard by the Sea, is one of the most favorite places of the people of Baku. It's a place where you can totally relax, and every citizen of the capital wants to visit the place for relaxation together with his family, with his friends. And we probably didn't see the picture of the boulevard during the night, did we? Well, I think that you can find that photos. Actually, you don't need to show us everything, right? Let's keep something as an intrigue. Let's leave something off the screen so that our visitors could go to Baku and see it with their own eyes. It's much more interesting, isn't it? Yes, it is. And to know more about Azerbaijan, of course, you must explore the capital. Of course, that goes without saying, because the views that we have just seen are so impressive, and I don't even want to see or hear what you're saying, but I want to go there and to experience that spirit of ancient history and also the spirit of modern architecture. Actually, the world is so beautiful that it is truly worth of being seen in person. And I really hope that people all over the world will have this opportunity to travel so that people could freely visit
Это
and enjoy and explore the different cultures. So this is very important to us.
А чем бы ты хотела бы поделиться?
Um,
Вот что у тебя
and
есть такого,
we have
что
a
ты
question for
очень
another
ценишь и
guest.
дорожишь?
Sevinch, what would you like to share? What would you like to comment on? Well, what I would like to say is that Azerbaijan means the land of the eternal fire at an ancient language. So we used to have Zoroastrianism, a very ancient tradition, and we have different monuments, Yanardagh and Atashgah monuments that symbolize that. Adashgah means the house of fire, the place of fire. Can we show a different slide? Yeah, those were the different slides that were actually not that did not have anything to do. So Atashgah and Yanardagh, they appear at the places of eternal fire. So Atashgah means the place, house of fire. Yanardagh is a burning mountain, and this burning took place at a very ancient time, and this is a natural gas immersion, and these were the sites where people who were confessing the Zoroastrianism, they were worshipping these places. There's another place, Akhenalik. It is very unusual with its tradition. It has different culture. So Shiki has another palace, Palace of Sharma Shah, and there is the Gauls Tower. And actually, around this tower, you hear so many legends. It would be nice to actually. Yes, we have very beautiful photos, but maybe let's have a look at something else. We can have a look at something now or later. But actually, when the land is burning, this is really impressive. When many people come, it impresses them so much. Yes. Yes, it's truly so. Maybe there was some technical glitch because our designers have actually prepared a wonderful collage based on the sites that you have just mentioned, but for some reason we were unable to see those pictures in the collage. But let's focus on the positive side. Let's also view it as the fact to sort of as an incentive to come and visit and see it with our own eyes. Marina, what I would like to add is that, well, maybe the monuments are on the way, but I could also tell you a little bit more about family traditions. So regarding family traditions, they are a very important part of Azerbaijan. Family is probably the most important thing for any person in Azerbaijan. And if you take family, and it doesn't matter if I'm speaking about the relatives, so there is such a notion of a clan, and everything is done not for yourself, but for the family. So the interests of the family are placed in the first place. And also, if some family member has any problems, then the entire family comes to his help. All the relatives gather. So this is something that is very typical for us. Another thing that I would like to add, so actually we're speaking about the positive things in Azerbaijan today, and some Azerbaijan would say, look, you're saying just the positive things, just the beautiful things, but to continue this trend, I would like to focus on this specifically, on these positive things, such as, for example, at work or at school or somewhere else. A person may have the need for some surgery, or people are collecting money, making the fundraising for anything that is necessary. So all the people chip in. Like, you don't collect any certificates that some surgeries I need or anything. No, it's very natural for everyone to just chip in. So, and respect is another very important thing, and it is in all Eastern countries. You can observe that in all Eastern countries. And of course, it is frowned upon when there is no respect to people. Or, for example, if you don't see this respect for the elderly, then it isn't frowned upon. Women are also very respected. For example, if a tax inspector or, for instance, someone else wants to, of course, so what I'm trying to say is that women are respected and they are not given a hard time in case of any stressful situations. But maybe it's typical for many countries. I don't know. Next, as you grow older, then you understand that this respect and all these traditions that I'm speaking about, it's a very positive thing. So, of course, there is so much to share, and maybe another participant would like to continue. Yeah, of course. Rahilia. Yes, I would also like to join what the girls have been saying. I also love my country very much. I love my people. I love my city. I love the climate here. And also the traditions. I just really like them. And I would also like to say that Azerbaijan is a country that has representatives of different countries, nationalities, and it has been like this for many years, but all the people live in peace and harmony. I have never even heard anyone ask, what nationality are you? We don't speak about that. We don't ask these questions. There are different religions, Christians, Jews, Judaism, and there is also the Islam, and Islam is a historic tradition of our country. And everyone lives in peace, in harmony, and there are no problems based on religion or nationality. Also, Azerbaijan has a lot of holidays, national holidays. We respect them. And we have these holidays handed down from generation to generation from our ancestors, so on. For example, there is Ramadan Bayram, is the holiday of the fast. Kurban Bayram is the feast of sacrifice. And Nowruz is another holiday, and it is celebrated usually in Eastern countries. And what I would like to say is that Nowruz is translated as a new day, and it is celebrated in the spring equinox day, March 21st, 22nd. So the nature is becoming new. People expect that after a long winter, and for a week, Baku turns into a center of celebration, entertainment. People visit each other, and people talk together. And according to ancient beliefs, our universe consists of 4 elements: water, earth, fire, and air. And on the eve of the holiday, every Tuesday that represents these elements is celebrated by the people here. For example, on Tuesday of fire, it is believed that fires can be lit and you can jump over a fire. And when you jump over a fire, then all the bad spirits go away and all your sorrows, they are left behind. And young people gather and they jump over fires. Next, people cook some sweet things at their homes, and Nowruz is so rich in symbolism. There are some sweet dishes such as pakhlava and others, our national sweets, and shakbra, for example, it means one thing. Pakhlava means stars, another sweet thing means sun, and then something else. Then on the table they're placed the seeds of wheat. Candles are lit. Everyone gathered together. The people wish good things to each other, and they say that all the homes are being cleared, all the unnecessary things are being thrown away. So not just the bodies being cleared, but also the spiritual level is taken into consideration. So all the debts are forgiven. If people have been fighting, they say sorry, they become at peace. People call each other, people meet, something like that. Thank you so much, Rahili. We have seen the illustration of what you have been saying. Maybe our viewers would like to visit Baku and Azerbaijan in general. Technical support. I know that the collages have been found. Let us please have a quick look on what our girls have been telling us. So, of course, we would like to see the place where the fire is escaping on the surface of the earth. Yes. Sevinch, would you like to say something?
Paintings on the walls and everything. Yes, there is the flaming rock or hill. You can also see in Lubistan those pictures on the walls where they had the first shelters of the elderly or ancient people. They also have it on the places where we have the eternal fires, which are still on. What else do we have of your technical support? What kind of collages did we have before? This is the unforgettable ancient sea that we would really like to have a walkthrough. It looks really nice. I can even feel the air but look at the mountains. Just look at them. Yes, it's Naknolik, and there we can see the Virgin Tower. I would just like to say, so like, is it that one or not? Oh, yes. In the Temple of Shilashaka, there's also the Hall of Khans, which are the version of Russian stars. And the modern architecture is also really nice. There's the look through the sea. Those flaming towers look really nice. And for our viewers, I would just like to mention that all of the pictures were picked by our participants today. Just look at with what amount of love and care they've picked those pictures for you, and so that you could experience and see how beautiful their homeland is. And thank you so much to our dear designers that were able to, in such a short term, to collect those pictures and unify collage so that we can actually enjoy those views. And look how wonderful different cultures and tradition actually mix up together. So yeah, we have a wonderful experience with that. And this picture, it's really tempting. If you just really want to join this table, and you can also see those wonderful igniting dances and those movements. And they're really taming, and you can actually want to stand behind and dance as well. So the ornaments and the colors are nice, and on the traditional or national costumes, especially in the women's costumes, you can actually see what was the role of a woman in the society and in the culture of the country. Thank you so much for the collages, dear girls. Thank you so much for your stories. It was really nice to hear. We really want to visit it. We can finally move to our traditional part of the second part of our broadcast. Tell us, how do you see creative and constructive society? How would you characterize the society where you, your kids, and everybody else could live happily and in comfort? Well, first of all, may I? Or is it? Yes, wonderful. For me personally, creative and constructive society is, first of all, it's having so much of a free time for every single person. Here the question is, why do you have to free so much time, and in what a way? In what a way? It's kind of simple, using technologies and everything else that we have right now and can be used right now, but unfortunately we're not using all of the potential that we might have used. In a creative society, we have so much free time for every single person, for him to be able to open his real potential, his spiritual potential. And a person you create all of the conditions, and the structure of the society will be in line. The stimulus for everything for a person, and the person has the dual structure, and everything good that he has in such a society from the early childhood will be stimulated, ignited, and empowered. All the conditions can be created for that. For a person to reach for the beauty and for the wonders, the spiritual values and spiritual potential to be developed and established. As for today in the world, but in the material world that we live in at the moment and in the society that we live in right now, we can say that unfortunately it's up to 80% of what we have is what the person is all goes for the just earning money, trying to provide for your family, and so on. The person is not supposed to do that, and he doesn't have enough time for himself or herself, just for the main reason that he's or her here in his life to self-develop. And the creative society, creating constructive society, will serve for that. Here, it will play its main role in opening a person main's potential. Yes, I can add so much more for what, how, why, but I just want to give the word to girls as well. Yes. We would really like for every person who's present in here with us could actually share. Okay, dear ladies, who would like to be the next one to go? For a creative constructive society, first of all, this is the society without any issues or fears. As for today, we are worried for our future, for tomorrow, for the tomorrow of our children. And in creative constructive society, to live in fear and worries will not be in place. Right now, we are picking the specialties that will probably bring us income rather than satisfaction, right? And so in constructive society, in creative society, he will pick the specialty or profession that he will actually like and that will satisfy him, and that he will be able to go in his full capacity. And I just like to mention the fact that every single person will live in comfort and financially sustainable and in comfortable homes. Children will pick the profession that they will like, not would be like made for them to be chosen. And every profession in creative society, it will be respected no matter what. So because in the creative constructive society, the main objective is the moral values that the person has, and the society will be of good and really people with integrity, and that will try to bring good and wonderful deeds for all of the society. Also, what I would like to add that in constructive and creative society, healthcare system would actually be developed. We won't have incurable diseases, and in the future, the person would not be able to get sick because diseases we have from what? Because we worry, because we fear something, because the diseases come from that actually. And in creative constructive society, a person's not gonna live that way. He's gonna be happy for what he has. I would also add, if anything emergent or bad would happen to a person, because right now we're not like, we don't have an insurance for bad things happening to us, but the person knows that he has a wonderful high quality healthcare system in any point of the globe, and you don't have to worry about that. And yes, it will be all free and accessible and at the highest level with equipment and everything needed and qualification for medical personnel. It will all be done for the people as it's supposed to be. I would just also like to say that education will be available in any age. It will be accessible for any person. It's also really important, and science plays a big role in that, and technology for them to be developed and to actually bring good and bring use to all the people on the planet, so that the life's conditions and commodity would actually be developed and improved in the better way, in the good way, so that the science would serve the humanity, for it to work for the goodness and the kindness of the humanity. So, dear ladies, what else is there to say? Could you add something as well so that we could actually grasp the whole jigsaw puzzle. For me, the creative society, this is first the people of the integrity and conscientious. And continue the topic of healthcare and science and education. I like what was said before, that healthcare is supposed to be on the completely new qualitative level. Education as well. By having knowledge that we have right now that was brought to the world at this moment, could you imagine how many course books and the teaching books will be rewritten so that kids will be able to study in the world? They will understand who is their enemy and who's their friend, and how to fight it and how to win it. And what's interesting is that the most important part for them is that no matter what would be the cultural differences between people, that they all have the same source, and all the people in this in the source are united in one. I feel like it's supposed to be that way, and I feel like this is the creative society for me. Thank you so much, Irahila. Thank you, Marina. I would also like to add just a small portion of to this jigsaw puzzle. For all my childhood, I've dreamed for that society, and now I can see it for your broadcast and not on your broadcast, from our broadcast, right? Yes. And really, what that we are speaking about it right now, this is such a big step forward. We finally have hope for that. Everything is dependent on the people and dependent from the people. How I see creative and constructive society, first of all, I think that every single person on the planet would like to be happy. And to be happy, you would need for people to get united, and for people to be more kind, for them to be more attentive, to be not be indifferent to bad things happening to others. And so for such a wonderful qualities of people, you would add that every person is supposed to be like that. And for such a small pieces of jigsaw puzzle, you can actually have the society. Everybody would be responsible and will try to act their small portion in the stepping to the creative constructive society. This is how we'll get to that. And I'm joining the ladies on what they mentioned before. So the healthcare is supposed to be good, the science and education is supposed to be good, because everybody's supposed to be responsible to what they do and how they act. Kids are supposed to be educated on how to act in the society. Unfortunately, schools right now, they're not mentioning it in their curriculum at all. This is what I wanted to add. Dear ladies, thank you so much. Would anybody else would like to add anything? Maybe you've forgotten to add something about the creative society or anything else. Do you have any comments or things to add? I would really like, if possible, to add just a few words that, as for today, as a version of such a creative society, I don't know how like a version of that, but still, the ALLATRA International Public Movement, ALLATRA, they sort of represent this creative society, but their activities and their deeds and their efforts, they are showing that this is actually possible and it's easy to fulfill, because everybody's wishing and dreaming about that in the childhood, but like it's in reality, it's here. And if somebody else is actually trying to get to know how to achieve it, or just to let to know it, and you have calls from all the place and you get help and it's possible, and those people are not just working in like any organization, they just live in different countries, they in any time of the day would answer to any of your needs or questions, and it's possible and it's here. And so with such an effort that we do, big projects are being established and developed, and the projects are humongous in their scale, and simple people are doing that with their efforts and labor, and like it's possible, and it's here again. Yes, Nalvira, thank you so much for mentioning that volunteers of International Public Movement ALLATRA, as for today, they are, with their efforts and labor, they are implementing projects that are the basement, the background, the backbone of this creative constructive society, for people to get united all over the world for this idea, because right now this is the best time for all the people on earth would be able to unite around creative and constructive ideas, around the idea of the society where every one of us would like to live in. And dear viewers, please, if you were interested in this project, the project Creative Society, you can visit our website, ALLATRAUnites.com, and you can press join us and get to know more about the ALLATRA International Public Movement and projects that we are implementing and implemented by volunteers. And by choosing your language, you can leave your comment, your vision of the society where you would like to live, where you think that you and your kids and your grandkids could live happily ever after. We would really be happy to hear your opinion on that. And if you would like to join us, to join our program and represent your country and to travel together with us, and yet again to talk about the society where we would all like to live in, please write us at our email info@allatra.tv. And also please don't forget to make a repost of this video. Please share it with your friends, with your colleagues, with your relatives, loved ones. Just use two hashtags, Creative Society and hashtag Allatra Unites. Dear girls, ladies, thank you so much for this unforgettable excursion to Azerbaijan. Thank you so much, and I really hope that in one day we'll be able to get to know each other in the reality, just to have some tea, to have a walk through the city, and yet again to discuss on how do we see creative society, and the most important that each and every one of us can already do something to achieve it. Thank you so much from the depths of my heart for such a wonderful broadcast. Thank you so much, Marina. It was such a wonderful experience. It was so joyful and great, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.